Hello all, welcome to rotanews.com. In this session, we'll discuss about column properties in OTBI and the part 1. So when you have the set of columns in the OTBI analysis, there are a couple of options Oracle has provided, wherein we can change the font, we can have a conditional formatting, we can have a linkage, couple of things, and we can hide the columns also. We'll discuss one by one. The first setting here you could see in the slide here is when you click on a column and then click on a column properties, the first tab it shows is about style. This helps us in changing the font of a particular text, adding up a color, and you can also add the image, and then you can also add the border for your particular text. So this is a setting you can use it for the purpose of changing the style of a particular column. Coming to the next one is called column format. So column format, you could observe here, the first thing is the highlighted part. You can hide the column. But what is the need of hiding a column when you have it? So when we write a particular set of formulas, there is a need of having a column, but you don't want to show in the output. Then you require this particular feature. Or when you have a deep links, you want to have an invoice ID to be used, but you don't want to show to the user. So then also you require a set of column which you don't want to show to the user, but still you want to be included in the analysis. So if you want to hide it, you can just simply select this one. It will hide it. Then column heading. If you want to have your custom heading, you can click on this particular custom heading and you can change it. The other one is value separation. Value separation is for the purpose of you don't want to have a data repeated. Let us say if you have an invoice report with a couple of BUs, then what will happen is the BU will get repeated for each set of invoice. If you don't want to have that get repeated, you can click on suppress. If you want to get repeated, click on repeat. So these are settings for the style as well as column format. Next, other two are data format as well as conditional format. Data format, if at all, if you want to change the default format, and mostly like when you deal with the date or time, we always have an issue with having an appropriate format because as a client uses a different format across global. So then, like you choose the appropriate one and set it. Or still, let us say if you want to have an custom format, you can write the logic using the HTML. So Oracle provides, if you want to write an option using HTML, you have to use @ symbol followed by square brackets HTML, then write the HTML code. Then your particular content will get displayed according to the format which you mentioned in the HTML. Coming to the next one, conditional format. It is similar to a column format which you have in your Excel sheet. On the conditional format, what you can do is you can have a condition based on a particular column, and you can mention what to be done on that particular condition. Let us say if your invoice amount is less than 1,000, you want to make it as a green. Let us say if it is greater than 5,000, if you want to show in a different color, you can do it. Let us say if invoice type is standard, you want to show it as a yellow. If invoice type as prepayment, you want to show it as a red. Something like that. You can play around using the conditional format. So this is a once you select a particular column, you can mention what condition you want to have it, and you can mention what kind of style you want to apply on that particular thing. Now coming to the last two things like interaction and write back, which are like requires couple of time. So what we'll do is we'll discuss these particular two properties in the next coming session. But now for in this today's session, we'll discuss about the first four. So I'll navigate to the Fusion instance. This is my payable invoice report. So I have selected the subject areas payable invoice transaction real time. I have included a couple of columns like a BU name, invoice type code, number, supply details, invoice ID and invoice amount and invoice date. Now let us start with the set of column first of all. First of all, I click on save. I click on BU name. And now once you click on BU name, what you do is click on this gear icon. Click on the, once you mouse over a particular cursor on the gear icon, automatically it will show. It does not need to have a click. And then you can click on this particular one, column properties. The first one it shows is the style. So now let us change the style. Let us say I would like to have Arial black and I want to have a different color. Let's say I go with green. And if let us say if you want to size, let us say I will have 15. Okay. An image, if at all, if you want to have an image, you can also have an image here. You can upload it or you can select it. Let's say I want to select this particular image. Okay. So this is the image which I have selected and click on OK. Save. So image does not make any sense here, but yeah. So I have changed the text to green colored and I have added a image. And let us see some more properties of the font again. So click on this one, column properties, okay, style. You can have a bold, italic, and these things also. Okay, let us say if you want to have a underline, you can have underline also. So these are set of things you can do with the style. So let's see this result again. Okay, now we got the underline. Click on criteria. Now I'll go with invoice type code. Click on column properties, the column format. So now here if you observe invoice, let us say I don't want to have this get repeated. Let us say I would like to suppress. I'd like to have a suppress. Then I'll select this one. And if at all, if you want to have a custom heading, select this one. I'll say invoice type. Click on OK. Click on result. Okay, now what is happening? This is not getting repeated. And the column property, as we have applied the heading, it is now invoice type. Okay. Now let us see the other one. Let's say I'll select amount or maybe date I'll select. Invoice date I have selected. Column properties, data format, override default data format. Now, so I want to change the date format. So let us say I would like to apply, you can apply custom format or you can have the pre-selected formats also. Now let's say I'll go with select this one. I would like to go with the custom date format and click on OK. And then you can see the result. Okay, now it's simply displaying year and there's something wrong here. It is displaying 00, right? Which is not correct. Now just check it. Column properties, date format. Yeah, again try. Okay. So still there is something wrong. So it should be just M. Okay. It should be M. And now this is how we can change the date format. Let's say I just want only year. So I can just have this one. If at all, if you want to have a different date, now let us say if you want to have an expanded date format, you select this one. And you can observe here for the month, if you want to have this set of way, like a 4 digits, just have 4 M's, date, DD, and Y, year for Y, small y. You can just click on result. This is how it will be. So now the next thing is conditional format. Let us say invoice amount, I'll select column properties. I'll select conditional format. By default, we have not applied any condition. Now add condition. So on which particular column you want to have a condition. So now we want to apply some formatting on the invoice amount based on other or can be amount also. Now let us say based on amount itself, what I want to do is if at all, if an amount is less than 2000, once you click on OK, it will ask you set the format. So I'll click on OK now. Now it is asking what kind of format you want to apply. Now let's say whenever the amount is so and so, I would like to apply this particular color. Click on OK. Maybe you can apply some particular formatting. And let's say I'll apply this italic. Click on OK. Now you can click on result. Right? So it shows in italic wherever the amount is less than 2000. I want to show one more thing. Like let us say I don't want to show supplier number, but I want to use it internally for calculation later on sessions. But now what I'll do is I'll click on this particular one, click on column properties, column format, just select this one, hide. Once you click on hide, the specific column will not be shown in the output. Right? You can observe that supplier number is no more available here. Now you can select on the column properties on the conditional format. You can have multiple conditions also. Let us say if the invoice amount, right, wherever the invoice, again on the invoice amount, if it is greater than or equal to 2000, greater than or equal to 2000, I want to apply a different color, maybe let's say blue, bold. Click on result, right? So now we can easily observe. Let us say if it is amount is less than, if it is a credit memo, right? Generally you will have a less than, like it will be negative. You can apply a specific condition also. Okay, so these are all about a column format settings in the OTBI. And in the next session, we'll discuss about the interaction as well as the write back. Thank you.